Welcome back. This time we're talking about Kingsman: The Golden Circle, a sequel to the 2015 hit Kingsman: The Secret Service. Now, in my review for the original film, I called it a combination of the style and sophistication of the James Bond films, the physicality of the Bourne franchise, and the over-the-top, almost cartoonish violence of Kick-Ass. This last comparison doesn't come as a huge surprise because that film's director, Matthew Vaugh, is also the guy who directed Kingsman. And both he and his constant writing partner, Jane Goldman, returned for The Golden Circle. This was a film that I was highly anticipating all year long. I was a big fan of the first film and was really looking forward to seeing what they did with the sequel. And fortunately, I had a lot of fun with this movie, just like I did with the first one. This is one of those rare times where you have a movie that knows exactly what it is, as well as exactly what it wants to be. And even better, for the most part, both of those things are the same, resulting in a highly entertaining experience. Most of the surviving characters from the first film are back, including Eggsy, played by Taron Egerton, who is a member of a secret non-governmental spy agency which is bent on saving the world from evil masterminds. In this film, they'll be facing off against Poppy, played by Julianne Moore, who is a drug dealer who really wants to be recognized for how successful she is and wants the world to take notice and has a plan to do just that. But first, she's going to have to get rid of a pesky little organization known as the Kingsman. And her attack on their organization is going to send our heroes across the pond to America to seek help from their American cousins, the Statesmen, whose agents include Jeff Bridges, Channing Tatum, Halle Berry, and Pedro Pascal. That's really all I want to tell you about the story. This is one of those films that I'm pretty sure you know whether or not you're going to go see. And the trailers have already given away some of the big surprises, so I don't want to give away anything else. And I'm not going to mention some of the surprises that were given away in the trailer, just in case you somehow managed to stay uninformed. This is a film that works on almost sheer manic energy. This is a crazy, wild ride, a lot like the first film, except possibly even crazier. There are definitely issues with the movie. There's some plot issues. The special effects are not top-notch. They do look a little cartoonish or video game-ish in a lot of cases. But ultimately, it becomes part of the film's charm in a way, just because you have to respect a film that, like I said earlier, just knows what it is and is just going to ride that road to the very end and try to mine as much entertainment as it can along the way. I do feel like there were a couple times where the story got a little too outlandish. There's a side plot involving the US president and some of the decision he makes that kind of goes off the rails a little. Just even in a film as crazy as this, it's hard to suspend that much disbelief. There's a couple sequences involving a football stadium where I just felt like, all right, this is a little too much, and probably not coincidentally, this is one of the few times during the movie where it felt like it was dragging a little bit. Like my engagement had been pulled back enough that I just wasn't able to ride that wave of energy that the film was relying on to keep its audience engaged and honestly ignoring some of the flaws. Fortunately, however, those moments are greatly outnumbered by the ones in which we are just having a lot of fun. Also, fortunately, like the first film, Golden Circle does have a lot of heart. There are moments where we're going to feel upset, and when certain things happen to certain characters, we're going to be upset about that. If there is another flaw with the film, I don't think I ever really connected with any of the new characters introduced in this film as much as I was already connected with the ones that were returning. But speaking of characters, I do have to say The Golden Circle has one of my favorite cameos of all time. I'm not even sure if it qualifies as a cameo because he's in the movie so much. I'm not going to give it away. You'll know who it is as soon as you see it. But his role in the film just continues to kind of roll forward, and every time it's just like I am loving these parts of this movie. and I just enjoyed every time he was on screen, and like I said, it's probably one of my favorite cameos of all time. All in all, The Golden Circle takes everything we liked about the first Kingsman film, dials it up even stronger, which again shows a few cracks in the foundation, but overall is an incredibly entertaining experience. I've heard that they're looking at making a third one. If they do, I'll definitely be back. But what I did really like about this one, unlike a lot of first sequels, is that there really didn't feel like there was anything in this movie that was setting up the third film. It's not like this film ends on a cliffhanger and we have to wait for the third film to come out in 2 years to get a conclusion to the story. This film has its own contained story, and if there's a further film, we're just going to have to see a whole new adventure with these characters. So if you've seen Kingsman, The Golden Circle, what did you think about it, and how did you like it compared to the first one? As always, you can subscribe to my channel, check out some of my other reviews, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies.